Alrighty, in this video here, what I want to do is I want to make sure that when you're doing your keyword research that you have to toggle back and forth between the keyword planner and then actually going out and searching these words online to see if they make any sense. Okay, and what we're looking for is we're looking for logical groups of keywords, usually somewhere between 4 to 7 approximately, okay, within a niche. And we're looking for keywords. We're going to let Google tell us the kind of people that are searching for these and whether they would be applicable or not. That's really important. I think what's happening is that a lot of people are coming in here and they're strictly just staying only in the keyword planner, spending hours on it, and they don't do this second part I'm going to show you, which is quite frankly the most important part. So I'm taking so this example here, this is Houston, Texas. Here's some keywords on here. On paper, it looks really impressive, right? It's like, wow, 7,400 searches. We have kitchen cabinets, kitchen island, cabinets to go, cabinets on here. Can we create a lead gen business, a pay-per-call lead gen business out of this? Well, my recommendation is that you take each one of these keywords, slap the city name behind it, and study the results. So let's do that. So the first one right here is kitchen island. That was actually the second keyword, right? Yeah, there's kitchen island. You're thinking, okay, 1,300 searches per month. It's got to be a fantastic word to rank for, right? Well, let's just look at what shows up, okay, on here. And let's just take a look at some of these sites on here. If my guess is, and I've opened up a couple of them, is that this right here is going to be where you just order these online, basically, and they sell them to you. So let's go to the first one here. Okay, so and that's exactly it. This is, we order this online. So this is really a more of a kind of a Shopify type store on here. So this is not, there's no pick up the phone to call anything, okay? This is a different, completely different business model. So let me just back up and let me just say, well, maybe that was a fluke. Let's take a look at the next one. And this is what you need to do. You got to take your keywords. You got to go out and see what's going on here. Bath and Beyond. You're not going to get somebody in Bath and Beyond. Again, this is not a pay-per-call niche at all. You know, although it looks good on paper, right? It looks good on that. Someone to build a kitchen cabinets. This is a Reddit. Yeah, this is, again, this is not going to be it either. Kitchen bath concepts, premium cabinets. Let's take a look at this. The other one was IKEA there. Okay, so I think I've driven my point home well with this, and that is, this looks good on paper, right? You're going after a kitchen cabinet niche. You've got kitchen islands on here. It's got plenty of searches, but you have to step out of that. You have to then take the word and actually Google it, and put a city behind it. Check a couple of cities. Don't just do Houston. Do Seattle, do Miami. So make sure that it's consistent across the board, that, hey, this is it. So again, this is some kind of what we do, designers, projects on here. We design kitchens and bathrooms. So if they're going to design this stuff, which sounds fantastic on here, this one could be, you'd have to study this business a little bit more on here. Let's say in here, price and product details. Let's take a look at it. So also too, the other thing you want to know is when you're looking at these sites, you want to look at the site and say, is this a site that, well, is this a site that I could actually duplicate and replicate across many cities? Because you're going to, this is the kind of stuff people want on here. You're going to have to get images like this. Okay. So I'm not convinced that this first keyword is, or this one, island, is what you want to be going after here. So let's just go down the line. We'll go to kitchen cabinets. So that'll be, I think that's this one. And with kitchen cabinets, what do we have here? So I just tell that plus a city name, and I would advise you do it plus a couple of other city names, 4 or 5 others. go through these and start studying these and see what these are. So this is, it looks good, right? Kitchen cabinets. But it may not be good for a paper call or even a paper email or a combination, basically a lead. So builder's surplus. This is probably some, they got homes, doors, bathrooms, kitchens, right? This is like a big warehouse, and they go out and they look at this. This is not a paper call model type deal on here. On that, they're big corporate. They're going to have their own stores and everything down here. It's just not a good model for that. So let's come over here. Cheap discount cabinets. Take a look at this. Again, this is where people are going to come out to some warehouse and they're going to pick out their, they're help them design their dream kitchen. And this is just not something they got all kinds of other doors and stuff here. Again, it's not the idea. I think when a person thinks of kitchen cabinets and they're going to get into that niche, they're thinking of someone who, a contractor who goes out and installs it. It's a $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 job, and they get to sell those leads on that. Because that's not what this is pulling up, these keywords on here. So that's different. Let's go to this one. Okay, so this is cabinets to go, because cabinets to go was one of the keywords on here. Again, 1,300 searches, but although it looks good on paper, what are the actual results of it? The actual results of it are going to be like this. So we'll just come down here. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what this is. Well, cabinets to go. It's actually the name of a place. This might be a brand name on here, and you can't be ranking for someone else's brand names. So what we have on here is a kitchen cabinets, testimonials, view our entire collection, get a catalog, get a free design, learn more on here, cabinets to go. So you're going to look at this directions. You're going to go out to their place. They're going to help you design and stuff. And there's no closing going on over the phone. No one's going to call up on the phone and say, hey, I would like to get a $40,000 kitchen, or I'd like to spend $10,000. I'll just buy it right now. No, they're going to go down there. It's going to be hours and hours of process and going through stuff. Again, probably not the ideal kind of on here. Yeah, here's another one. Builder's surplus material. Yeah, back here. So this is just not it. So what's another one in here? Cabinet doors. So this was another one. I think this was the big one. No, yeah, cabinet doors. 480 searches. Again, seems really impressive on paper, right? But when you actually come in and look at it, is this a place where they've got their gallery, finished products, profiles? Again, you're looking at these sites. You're going to have to purchase a lot of high quality images, which is fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Just know what you're up against when you're looking at these. These are some of the cabinets on here. Take a tour to find out more. So let's see what it's got going on here. So, yeah. So if you're going to get it, you have to get all these images on here. And are these images, is this shaker door style pure white? Can you use this same image in 40 or 50 cities? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, because not all places are going to have, not all cities will have the exact same models on here. And you want to also understand what is the buying process that's going on here. How does the consumer buy? Do they pick up a phone and call and someone comes out to their home? I don't think so, but how do you find out? You'd actually call it, just act as a customer. There's a tiny, tiny number up there. You'd actually contact them, act as a customer, and say, well, what's the next step? I'm interested in redoing our kitchen. How does the process normally work on here? And that's how you do it. And they have to drive to wherever the warehouse is. I'm just not, this is not a kitchen designs. That was another keyword on here. There's a kitchen designs. So I was thinking, around 400 searches must be really good. So kitchen designs, Houston. and I come out through it here. And these are, yeah, this is all going to be, I'm not quite sure. Welcome to Designer Kitchen and Bath on here. Visit our galleries now. Okay, so this one, this particular keyword could be, but again, you're gonna have to have all these images. You're gonna have to understand what the buying process is, and I think it's gonna be very difficult to scale this out. To scale this out, at least with these keywords on here. So, anyways, my point here, and I've kind of dragged this on, and I'm going to continue because it's really important. Not enough people are understanding this. What I've seen here is there's been a lot of work and a lot of cities to go through here, but if you just did this one time, you would immediately know these are probably not the right keywords to go after, right? Plus, every one of these keywords, ideally, you have to have, if all your keywords here, the same sites have got to show up. So in other words, the same one page has got to rank for kitchen cabinets, kitchen island, cabinets to go, and it doesn't. It's all different sites on here. So let's take a look at another example, which is going to be locksmith. So locksmith. So these are the keywords. So let's take a look at them. And this one's a better example of a site that you would actually want to do. So what we got is locksmith. I just typed in the name Houston, and I would suggest you do this if this starts looking pretty good throughout one city, like it does, like it will with Houston. Then I suggest you do it with a couple of other cities just to confirm the results. So what are we looking for here? We want to make sure, we want to see, do all those keywords, are there sites ranking for all those keywords on the same page, on the same one page? Or are you going to have to create 2 or 3 different pages? And ideally, you don't want to have to create 2 or 3 different ideal pages, because that just means you have another site, another page that you need to rank, right? So this is just locksmith, right? So locksmith Houston, I come in here, and I can just tell from the keyword that this is probably going to be, and this is probably somebody where, you lock your keys in your car or whatever, and these are people that are going to come out to your place. It's going to be, let's just take a look at the sites here, and we're looking at them. We're looking at, how well could we replicate these? Can we use the same design, the same images on here? This is so right. This is a totally different type of niche on here, because this one, right, is not a whole lot of pictures. You're just having pictures just to describe what's going on. You don't have a whole, 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 pictures of cabinets on here. So pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and go back here. And again, I would be looking at, I'd be looking at all these sites. This is really important research, and you want to be looking at this one. So you notice right away that these guys are probably going to rank for 24-hour emergency, right? But we'll find out. But I'm sure that's it. 24-hour locksmith, okay. Or probably emergency locksmith would be another one. So let's take a look at these. This is top 10 reliable companies, and this one is this is a different type of lead gen site. Okay, so what they've done is they've ranked this, and then they're probably renting these out on here these times. And if they were really smart, they would rent them out, but they'd also do the phone calls as well, right? So that's pretty good, right? Pretty straightforward. We know what we're up against there. Let's keep going down. Take a look at some others. You see how much we've already learned something right now just by looking at these. You got it. You want to become Curious George. So locksmith in here. Papa Lock. Okay, so this is a franchise, Papa Lock on here. Nice, professional, clean looking. This is easily duplicatable. You could, you can just, every homepage is basically going to look like this. Okay, obviously 24 hours on here. So this is tons easier to do, right? So you want to go through these. You want to take a look at these. Now, we kind of want to remember what kind of sites showed up here organically. What you have Papa Lock, Houston Affordable on here. Then we have we want to remember these domains on here and see, are they ranking for other keywords the same page, right? So I have a locksmith, okay? This is locksmith near me. That's kind of an, I don't know, yeah, I guess you could rank for that. I never thought about that. But here it is, right? Right there, same. So we already know that for those two keywords, these sites are already ranking for it. So we know, because Google just told us right now, that we can get one page to rank for those two keywords. Let's continue that process and go down the line here. Now we have just locksmith, but there's a little break in between here. Okay, and the reason that is because if you look on the search results, you'll see that that basically, I guess it's a misspelling, right? So the misspelling, it's popular enough that it gets 700 searches. So definitely worth looking at. I had the name Houston behind it, the city name. Now what are we looking for? Are the same sites that just showed up here for these two keywords, will they also show up for the third one? We come here, and yes, here it is. There's another one, okay? It's so far, we know Google just told us we could rank all three of those keywords on the page. Now let's do another one, 24-hour locksmith, okay? 24-hour locksmith. Now see how it changed? Look, 24-hour locksmith. Now the results have changed, right? We don't see the same ones on here. So I think it's this one, right? This one right here was also ranking for these other two keywords, right? That site. Where is it? Yeah, it's right here, okay? And it's ranking there. So that tells us what? That tells us that yes, and this one too. That tells us that we could rank all four of those keywords on one key page. 24-hour locksmith is probably not the best keyword. You probably do that one, and you do like emergency locksmith. We'll do that one in a second. Let's take a look at this one here. Locked keys in car. I don't know if that's the best keyword on that. Locked keys in car. Well, let's see. Let's find out. So we come in here, and do the same sites come up here? Yes, this one does, but it's got a separate page for it, right? On that, I think we'll go back and look. Towing, but they have a separate page. See, car lockout. Keys in car. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we'd have to probably have a separate page. It'd be probably pretty easy to rank for, by the way, but we'd need a separate page for that. Okay. Do you understand what's going on? This is really, really important. You have to get out of the keyword planner, and you got to hop in and do this field research. And this is just the first phase of it. Okay, so car locksmith Houston. So a little bit different. So here's the site right up here. So, and here's this one showing up again, and this one. So, and this one too. So we know right now, what have we just learned? We've learned that one page can rank for all of these keywords except for the locked keys in car. That would be a separate page, and you would want to do that separately. So you'd have a separate page if you wanted to go after that. My advice would be is to go after the big ones first. Once you rank, once you get a client there, then, and you got some authority with your site, then add the second page for locked and keys car, and it'll rank right away. Okay, rather than trying to rank both of those at the same time. I would dig a little bit deeper in some of these on here, particularly this 24-hour locksmith, because there's going to be different versions of it, right? So let me just show you what I mean. So we would go something like maybe 24-hour. I'd abbreviate it. That's how some people might type it in. Emergency locksmith. It's already telling me to type that in. It already knows. So that's probably a good one right there. I need to type in the word Houston, though, afterwards. And we'd go through this again. Now, what are we looking for? Are our same other sites also ranking for this keyword on their home page? Boom, right here. This site's got it down. It really does on here. This one does, and this one does too. So yes, they do on here. So you can definitely rank all those keywords plus the one I just told you right here. Now, that's how you do that. This is a really, really good exercise. You've got to get out of the keyword planner. You've got to come in here. And the other thing that you're doing is not just looking for that, but you're looking at these sites on here. You're saying, okay, what is this site all about? They are you want to look at these site designs on here. You want to look at these and you want to start thinking about, hey, how am I going to design? What kind of designs? This green is their kind of logo, right? The green bands. That's not something that you can, that's duplicatable across all, 40, 50, 60, 80 cities, right? Because not all of your locksmiths are going to have green bands. In fact, probably none of them will, right? So you wouldn't choose pictures with a green band. You'd have like white bands, something very generic on here. On that, and you'd study them. You go, oh, interesting. Where did they learn this? Yeah, okay, never mind. So this is kind of interesting. These are some of the brands. This is something on here, and it's something in Spanish. Isn't that interesting? It was interesting. But I was away from the States for 4 years. Went back just for 2 weeks. Now I'm away again. But I noticed when I was I'm mainly in Spain, but I noticed when I was in the States, everybody speaks Spanish. I mean, literally everybody. I never noticed it before. It's just so, yeah, you should consider having this as well. If you're, you may need to switch this off depending on your vendors, whether they speak Spanish or not. But this might be good. See, this is, I think these are like service posts. So if I click on this, it would take me to a Land Rover page that they have. People ask a lot about that. Yeah, this is a good service post. Okay, people ask all the time on here about service posts, and that's just as simple as it is. It just interlinks these pages together. It's like Honda, it just goes to Honda on here. So what else do I want to go over on this? I want to make sure because that everybody's really understanding this. You want to study through the sites, you want to go through them. Another good exercise to do just to confirm these results would be to take the exact same keywords that you've got here, like locksmith Houston, and now you want to come in and just type in another major city on here. Maybe you just do Phoenix, and you study the same thing, and you come over here and type this in here again into Phoenix, okay? And we'll keep going down the line here, and we're going to look for, are there similar results? Are there other cities where there's 2-3 sites at least that are ranking their one page for all of these keywords, or was that just in Phoenix? I mean, just in Houston. So I'm going to go through this 24-hour locksmith, Phoenix. Let me just go through, and let's just go ahead and go through the exercise here. If you're bored and you want to quit this, I've already made the point. I just want to do this again. It's so important that you understand how to do the proper keyword research on here, and so let's do this one as well. Okay, so now let's start over again. Start over here. It's good to do this for 2, 3, 4, 5 cities. Then you'll know without a doubt what's going on here. So again, I would normally open up these sites and take a look at them. This one's a master domain site, right? Because we've seen this one before. Good one to study. Okay, so let's just take a look at here. We've got this Phoenix Lockmasters. Don't worry about these Yelps. Everyone gets all freaky about these Yelps. Don't worry about them on here. So we've seen that one before. These guys obviously know what they're doing with the ranking. Eagle Locksmith, North Valley. So let's just take a look at that. Are these same sites going to show up for the other keyword that we've got here, locksmith near me? And yes, here's one right there, and there's the other one. Okay, I've got a new one, Mr. Lock USA. What do we got here? This one's for locksmith Phoenix. I think I already did that one. We'll go down here to 24-hour locksmith. See, these guys are ranking for all these sites on here. And I got this one. There they are too, right there. And this one, let's see, look, keys and car. What do we learn now? They have a separate page for this. Okay, you see that? They have a separate page for this. They have a separate page for it too. So now we know that all these keywords, except for the one, which is this one, go on one page, and this is a separate page. Okay, what's this one? Car, locksmith, Phoenix, and then automotive again on that one. That's where they're ranking. Okay, so these are really good sites. And then you come up here, there was consistently some that came up right on number one each time, right? Both of them. This was one of them. This is a good one to open up. And then if they're using a WordPress site, then we can, and if they're using any kind of SEO plugin, we can find out what their keywords are. So we just right click, And then I'm going to view page source. And then what I'm going to do is, it's usually with Macs, it's Command, what is it, Command G? Yeah, Command G. And with, I think, Windows, I think it's Control G. But it pops up this little search window here, and I'm going to do keywords and see if I find anything. Nope. Okay, so I'll just do one other. I'll do title. So we got the title in here, title tags. Let's see if we've got anything else. I'm looking for more keywords on here. Normally, if they're using like a SEO Quake, so sometimes you can find the plugins that they're using. Yeah, they're using the SEO pack. So here it is. SEO pack, the description on here, locksmith. Okay, SEO pack. I'm not seeing the keywords. Sometimes you can find them on here because they'll have it. All-in-one SEO pack, alternate. Let's keep looking down. No. I'll do meta tags. I'm really surprised that the keyword did not show up. Nope, doesn't. But sometimes you can, depending on the plugin that they use. So, and you can usually snag some pretty good keywords, especially off of this site because it was already ranking #1, right? And there was another site when we were doing Houston, right? I think it was Locksmith. Houston, there was one that was always ranking #1. That's another one to take a look at, right? It was this one. And you come in here, you do the same thing if they're using a WordPress site. We can look at the source code. And with the source code, if they're using the SEO plugin, I think this looks like we'll see, page source. And the page source here again, all right. So I'm going to just do, I guess, a Control G, right? And yeah, see, keywords right there. So these are their keywords is what I'm talking about. So look, let me type it all the way in, keywords. And so these are the keywords that they're doing in here. Locksmith Houston, locksmith, car locksmith, right? Automobile locksmith. Never thought of that one. You'd want to go back and double check this one with a keyword planner, and then you want to type this into Google too as well and do automobile locksmith. I'm going to go ahead and just copy that for that. Commercial locksmith, interesting, right? Residential locksmith, ignition, rekey, lock rekey. These are some interesting ones we couldn't find out. Locksmith near me, they're definitely ranking for that. So that's a good one, right? Car lockouts, house lockouts. So we're getting some fantastic keywords here. So let's now come in here, and then let's go ahead and we'll search for this one as well. Paste automobile locksmith, and we'll do Houston. If they got their SEO right, that same site should be ranking, right? Yeah, it sure is. There they are, right there on here. So that's they're ranking for that. What was some of the other ones if you still have them there? Car lockouts. Okay. And remember, when you're doing car lockouts, you're only going for car lockouts with an S. You don't go for the plural and the singular. Go for the plural. So go ahead and copy that, and I'll come back out here and do the same thing. Okay, so this is really good. This is the kind of intelligence you want to be doing. And you would never find out this stuff if you just keep your head down into the keyword planner. You got to get the heck out of that. So let's find out. If these guys are doing their SEO right, it should be ranking right up there #1. There they are. Okay, so is that them? I can't remember. Anyways, point is that these are some other good keywords. You'd want to go back and compare them on here and go through the same process. Maybe you could rank more on the same keyword. Maybe you'd find out another good keyword and maybe it's another page. But now you know how to do this kind of stuff, okay? So I hope that helps out. I hope that clears up some confusion out there and gets you motivated to pull out of the keyword tool planner, and you got to start taking your keywords, dumping them in here plus a city name, and then you want to take some of these sites that are ranking in the top 2 or 3, take a look at their source code like I just did. It doesn't work on every site, but you do enough searches in 4 or 5 cities, you're going to get enough keywords. And these are people who already proven they're ranking #1, and now you can swipe their keywords and you'd run through the same process on here. So I know this first step on here can seem overwhelming, but Can you see how if you just stayed in the keyword planner, right, and you just decided you're going to do kitchen cabinets, you would end up being in this niche, it would be a disaster, right? Versus the locksmith niche, this one could really take off. Okay, this one could be a really good niche. So my name is Chris Winters. Talk to you on the next video. Alrighty, so let's go over some of these. I can already tell that you didn't follow directions on that. I'll show you why. What's the most important video in the entire course? One that you will use now and for the rest of your online career, even if you decide not to do pay-per-call and you go into Amazon, you go into affiliate marketing, whatever you do. Video Zero is the absolute most important tool any internet marketer in the world needs to do, and you'll do it on a weekly basis. So I'll say it again probably 100 more times during this, but you have to watch and you have to do Video Zero. It's the absolute most critical video of this entire course. If you don't do that, you will not succeed. Period. End of discussion. You will not succeed. So let's go through this. Okay, so house generators, okay. Hold on. Let me just get this off here. I didn't want this to have another window. Okay, so you went in here and you said, there's searches in here. You stayed on the keyword planner, looks like. But you got to get the hell off of that thing. That's like the worst tool ever. You need to get into this. This is your best tool. Home Generators Phoenix. Now, Video Zero, please follow that. You need to do this exercise for every one of your keywords in 5 to 7 cities. And you need to study and take notes. Understand, can you rank, you're going to discover new keywords, which no keyword planner tool in history can tell you. That's really valuable. Okay? It's going to tell you other vertical markets you can go into. It can tell you whether this is a good lead gen site or not, or niche or not. It's going to tell you the sales process. It's going to tell you how to design your sites. See, it does everything for you. Okay, so let's just look at this, Home Generators Phoenix. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of these sites on here. So I'm going to open them up on here. And let's just take a look at those first 3 sites. And we'll discover right away, is this going to be a good niche on this end of it for this type of keyword on here? We have, what was this? Home generators. So home generators, what's the buying process? I like this, same day service. We're looking at this. We have residential, okay. Look at all these other services they offer on here. This is interesting. We'll have to look at some other sites and see what they offer as well, because this is the vertical markets you can add on here. This is called cha-ching money time. Okay, schedule. So they're not encouraging a call. They have it right there, call or schedule on here. Alrighty. So they don't have any inventory, which is good, right? They got specials on here for home generators. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at another site. This may be whoa, that's what I was afraid of. Welcome to Affordable Generators. This right here is definitely scalable and doable. This could be, but now this is quite different. This kind of site on here is they've got all kinds of stuff, parts, generators on here, in stock, get quote today, call. You could do this. You could do this because someone's going to get a generator. They really don't care how far they have to drive, and more than likely, they probably just order it online, right? They just order it over the phone. Okay, cool. We're good. Yep, this is it. Okay, so you got to look at. So you're going to have to develop sites like these. So you need to look at and study this on here about how many of these sites on here, how many pages, you got to get all these images and stuff on here, on this end of it. And is this going to be good for, can you scale this? Honda pumps. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So how do they order this? They probably just ordered it online, right? How did they order this? In Arizona. Okay, it's a call. It's not an order online. That's good. So that's doable, but what does this tell you right now? And if you're going to go into this niche, you need to be doing this for every keyword for 5-7 cities and understanding and reverse engineering these on here. What are these? Which site is going to be more like yours? This one's going to be a heck of a lot easier because this kind of model on here, electrical specialized in here, home generators, financing for green skies, not quite sure what that is on here. So residential, electric repairs, so they do these other things too because they're electricians, right? This is actually an electrician site. So they do all kinds of other electricians on here. So look at that. Check out the URL up here on here, electric repairs. So they're also ranking for electric repairs. There's another vertical avenue for you on that. Let's go to, that was just home generators. What about on this end of it, security lighting? What are they going to have up here? Security lighting. Is security lighting in Phoenix? Does that search term, is that a whole nother set of search terms with keywords in it that get, 100, 200 plus on here? Surge protector. Car charging stations. That's an interesting one, right? So this is all things that we want to look at on here on that end of it. So interesting stuff. We don't know if this is, this place right here for their home generators on that end of it, which one's going to convert better? We don't know. Something like this, or is this a better one? These kind of sites. Again, you got to study them, so you got to look at them. So you got a lot of homework to do just for that home generator niche. Looks really interesting. And if you look at the search volume, you've got some good search volume here, right? Look how much more search volume you're going to be able to get if you look at other vertical markets that you could grow into in the future off of your master domain site. You could really have something here, but you got to get off of that stupid keyword planner tool, spend about 30% of your time on that and 75% of your time doing video zero exercises. You see how that's going to help you succeed? Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we've got the next one on here. I'm going to get rid of these sites, clean this up a bit. I got rid of two. Oh, here they are, right here. Okay, so let's check this out. So you gotta do the same thing, man. Gotta do the same thing. Gotta go through all these on here, and you gotta make sure on here, what are we looking at here? So we're gonna open this in a new page. And again, you got to do this for 5 to 7 cities for all your keywords. You'll discover more keywords. Watch that. So this is kind of, what is this? Okay, so this is the removal. Okay, pretty basic site on here. So we want to study that. We want to study for other services that they do. See the other services that they do. Mold removal, lead removal. Okay, industrial cleaning. On here, dustless blasting. Look at this. You gotta investigate these. You gotta find out. Obviously, mold removing right here. They do asbestos and mold removing. That's a whole nother huge niche that will at least double your search volume. It's another vertical that you can go into. How many other of these sites across 5 to 7, maybe 10 cities, studying all your keywords, doing video zero exercises, do the mold removal and the lead removal and removal of the asbestos? Okay, that's what you got to do. So let's check out the second one here. Services. What services do they offer? Well, it looks like they're going to make me click on it. Mold removal again. Lead removal. Okay, on that end of it. Tank removal. I have no idea what that is. Contaminated soil removal. Wow, there's a whole nother gigantic list out there. Now you see these verticals. You'll never find this stuff out if you hang out on that stupid keyword tool. So you got the same work here. It's here, right? Video zero. What was the last instruction I put on the members area to submit this. Do not submit unless you've done video zero. Okay, do not submit. Okay, so there we go. We're just going to continue. We're going to do the same thing on here. What is this? Yeah, you got so many more searches here. Not just removal. Now it's going to grow into lead removal, maybe soil contamination removal, so on and so forth. You got to study what's out there in the marketplace. Patio. I think here, I think you've got 5 different niches, but exercise 0 will tell us right away. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so, well, here's concrete on here. So what are we doing? Concrete, pavers, and Phoenix. You're going to go through these, and you're going to check them out. The concrete on here, and find out, when you do that same kind of thing on here for these other keywords, right? Your other keywords in here. I can't do all of video 0 for you, right? You get the point. You got to do that. But you put in every one of these plus a city name and do that in 5 to 7 cities. I think what you're going to find is that patio pavers may or may not be the same niche as concrete pavers. I could be wrong, but you'll find out. And pool deck pavers. Now you're going to find out, can you rank all of these on one page? Or are you going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages to rank? That's too much work, man. Not unless there's like 5,000 searches per month. Okay, so you got to find that out. Now, this is another one here. I don't know what this is. I'm about to find out, but I'm guessing that this and this is 2 totally different things. I don't know. We'll find out right now, right? We'll find out right now. So what do we got right here? Okay, so this is kind of, I don't know who does this kind of therapy. Is it doctors? Is it don't know. Let's take a peek at this and stuff and take a look at this. Yeah, I'm thinking these are MDs and not DCs, right? Not Doctor of Chiropractors. I don't know. Elite Performance. Ah, interesting. That's what that is. Interesting. Interesting niche for sure. Okay, now this one you're gonna write, or you're either gonna buy it or you're probably not gonna buy it, right? You're gonna go down and get the therapy, right? You're gonna go down and get the therapy. So it's a place where you're gonna want to drive fairly close, right? So I'd probably do a directory site like this, like I explained in the May 23rd coaching call. That's how I would probably do this on that, unless there's, it depends on the city, because you're gonna, if someone looks for this, you're going to have explanations of it, and then you're going to have our partner locations. So it covers every area of a town. Phoenix area is huge. So you got maybe a Phoenix office, you got a Scottsdale office, you got a Mesa office, you got a Gilbert office, you got Chandler office. That's all different. That's what I'm talking about. It's there. So good. Now, what do we got? Now we got a back pain. Is there any back pain? Is there anything here to do with chiropractic? AZ Pain. It's going to be chiropractic again. AZ Pain. AZ Pain Centers on here. This has nothing to do with this. See, it's not the same keyword, right? It's not the same keyword. But you know why you don't know that? Because you didn't do video 0. Come on. You got to be going back and forth with that. So here's the summary on this end of it. You've got basically every one of these niches is 100% viable. And what I'm trying to show you here is you got to do video 0 so you can make the most of it. If you use video 0, it's going to tell you how to design your site. It's going to tell you how many different verticals you can go into, the different keywords that you're going to get into, and you're going to build a massive authority site with this. You could do that with any of these niches. Home generator, we looked at that. You gotta say, hey, what kind of home generator site am I gonna have? What are out there? Am I gonna have 100 different pictures of different models with prices on them? Do people order online, or do they call? Do they install? So on and so forth. You gotta get to know your niches, and then you gotta find out, how you're gonna build it, what you're gonna do. This site right here, you could start out simply with just removing the asbestos, right? Once you have that built out, and you're ranking in 4 or 5 cities, you could start layering on top of that with your existing clients, more business for them, right? Because you'll have to do video 0 exercise. It'll tell you. Google will tell you everything you need to know, but that stupid keyword tool will keep you limited in the dark, so you're only seeing 10% of the picture. What I'm showing you here is 90% of the picture, okay? So that's what we've got going on here. Driveway pavers, again, you got to do the same thing on this end of it. And then here, this, yep, I would do that. Probably going to be a directory site. Anytime you've got a place where people have to drive, like drive somewhere, that's what we need to be doing on that. We need to be driving there. Then on a regular basis, as people go once a week, like a chiropractic, dentist, stuff like that, they ain't going to drive 20 miles. You're not even going to drive 50 miles. That's why you got to do the directory listings. May 23rd coaching call. Watch it. All right. You now clear what you got to do, right? Do you understand why the keyword planner tool is 20 to 30% of your work, but the video zero is the rest, is 70, 80, 90% of your work, and all this other stuff over here, trust flow and stuff, it doesn't matter, man. It's just little side stuff on here. At the end of the day, you're going down the narrow road of success, and you're not just ranking in 1 or 2 cities. You're building a master domain site, okay? That the end goal of that is getting across that tipping point of 4, 5, 6, 7 cities ranking on page 1. After that, Google gonna give you a go past jail card, and you're gonna be able to rank in hundreds of cities after that with just 0 to 1 or 2 citations. That's it. Okay, that's what you gotta stay focused on here. Okay, this is your best friend, Video Zero, and a little bit of the keyword planner tool. Take care. Bye.